Good evening, and it is Monday. No, it's Friday. It's Friday. It's the start of a weekend. It's not the start of another grueling week. It is my match preview of Brentford versus Watford in the Premier League. The first time they've ever meeten in Premier League history. What a delight. Now, Hornets go into the Brentford Community Stadium tonight off the back of a very unfortunate defeat to Manchester City. But what can you do? It's Manchester City. But we will be going into these now important run of games. They are really important matches where there's nothing to say other than if we can keep up that same level of intensity, that same level of commitment, then we've got a very good chance of getting results out of these. And, you know, there's nowhere to hide with these matches. We can take the improvements that Ranieri's given over the last few weeks, the last few months, of performances, scoring goals, looking attractive, looking much more committed and united as a team. And in these games where Brentford, look, they're going to be worried because they have got a weaker team. We've still got obviously Sarr out and we've still got Foster out. But look, Bachmann is going to try his best to get his first clean sheet this season. And of course, Joshua King, he is a goal scorer and he has 4 goals and 23 points in 3 trips under Claudio Ranieri away from home. Since game week 9, he has got 22 shots, including 20 in the box in both of those. And that puts him among the top 4 players in the Premier League for that. Brentford, Watford, Brewot. It is Brentford who, look, they have had a good start to the season considering they came up with us. We did finish higher than them just after, despite losing that penultimate game of the season with goals from Ivan Toney and also a cheeky little goal for someone that I can't remember now. I think it was a tap-in. Was it in Burmo? I'm not sure. It might have been Canos. It might have been Yanault or Force. I genuinely cannot remember because it was that irrelevant because we were already promoted and we're looking to get that safety that we crave and hopefully Brentford start to get dragged into it a little bit more. But yeah, it was a disappointing result, obviously 2-0 last time, but this is the Premier League. This is where it counts. Yeah, it was Marcus Force. Yeah, we've got a big task on our hands tonight, but I feel like we can hopefully be up to the pressure. A few changes, 3 in fact, for Claudio Ranieri. So it's good to see he's making the decisions and he's very much trusting his players. In goal, still the same, Daniel Bachmann, fantastic against City, 9 saves, what a goalkeeper. Also, Ngakia has come in, so that's really interesting. I like to see that because he was fantastic when he came on against Man City. Danny Rose was struggling so much, and look, it's not ideal, right? Of course you want to have a left back, but must have just been unlucky with Messina's injury, and Rose, unfortunately, his fitness is not always fantastic, but he's played well in games this season, Rose. Just in the tougher games, he's struggled. So it's good to alternate sometimes. And Ngakia's been so impressive. And we'll see what he can do in this game. But certainly the Bees against the Hornets, it will be the clash of the Stingers. Who can have the potent kill and who will buzz off with the points. It will be very interesting to see. Joshua King, though, I honestly fancy for this game. He's so good right now. He's doing the bits for that Watford team. He's looking very natural in that position. And I think he was just a great low-risk signing that's paid off. Obviously, he'll want to get on the score sheet just as he has in away games. And also, Emmanuel Dennis has been in good form as of late as well. But the main thing to say is the fact that... What was it that I was going to say? Can't remember now. Oh, yeah. It's a few things, basically. But the first thing to say is very happy that we've decided to basically vary it up a little bit because I think it was needed. I'm not going to lie. It was probably needed. Hang on. What's going on here? Yeah, it was probably needed to make some small changes, but not too much. So yeah, let's win the battle of the Stingers. Wissa is in for Brentford. Obviously, we know Canos is suspended. Tony has got COVID, and also they've got someone else out injured. Oh yeah, Christopher Ayer, and obviously the main one, David Raya, is out. So we're going to really pepper Fernandez with shots. He might make some saves, but he's still pretty poor as a goalkeeper in comparison. So we can get some goals past him, and we can take away their clean sheet. So hopefully it'll be a good week for Watford. Obviously Pinnock misses out as well, which I'm surprised by, but that's the way it goes. And also, you've got Rico Henry, the marauding fullback. But Brian Mbeumo is going to be the main threat to deal with. He does often hit the post though. He has been in poor form, so hopefully we can keep him quiet. It'd be typical Watford though to give him the sort of match to get back into form. But ultimately, right, Ngaki's change I think is the right one. Ranieri himself has said that Rose needs to improve his fitness. Now that's a good comment. And Rose does need to work on that and try hard. But it is kind of like you sympathise with him because he is the age he is. It's an interesting one. But we've got to use him sparingly, I think. Also, Cucho comes in for Joao Pedro. Big call. And I'm glad Ranieri is ballsy enough to make it. Now, a lot of managers would have just said, yeah, all right, you were good against City, Cucho, but we want to see Pedro. He's been putting in more consistent performances, even if there's not been the goals from it, other than that Manchester United match. But it's fair enough. Cucho did give us something different against City, and now he's got to find that impact from the get-go. Because I remember Cucho, the start, I think he was against Southampton, and he just didn't have that same impact. So maybe it's a minutes thing. He's more used to being that impact sub. Pedro has been our impact sub before. We saw it against Manchester United. So, those two are very interchangeable, very good either starting or benching. But let's see if Cucho can be the man tonight to provide that flair, the way he chased down that goal. It will be interesting to see. But let's see if Pedro gets, a 30-second cameo or something. We will find out. Kutska is in for Imran Louaza. Now, I'm not sure if this is injury-based. There's rumours that Louaza, well, not rumours, he's probably going to go to AFCON. But Kutska did come on, looked fairly decent against Man City, but obviously didn't have a lot of time. I would have kept Louaza in, if I'm honest, but if it's an injury thing, fair enough. But I do want to see Kutska kind of grab these games by the scruff of the neck. We do need to do that, these kind of more winnable matches, so I get why he's done it. So that's fair enough. Obviously, cleverly stays in. He's a terrier, so he's so good at that. Let's see if he lasts 90 minutes, doesn't get subbed off at half-time this time. But anyway, and then, of course, Sissoko keeps his place. What a leader. What a absolute legend. The oil in that machine, he is just brilliant. And yeah, 2 goalies on the bench, not ideal stuff. We're a little bit stretched for squad depth at the minute, but that's just what happens when you get injuries and you get, people... unfortunately, just there's a lack of options for us in terms of some of the areas, but we will try and invest in January. Sema on the bench, really good to see that. Love to see that because he's been out for a long time and he is a good option for us if we want to change the way that we play in a game. He can come on, he gets the byline, he puts in crosses. So hopefully we'll see a small cameo for him. Obviously, I would have liked to see Cabas start, but I think it's interesting because in the game against Leicester, we knew Troost-Ekong was awful, right? Against Chelsea, though, I thought Troost-Ekong was really good. And then against City, the whole defence was bad. So it's kind of like, do you place all the blame on him? Do you take him out? Maybe it's a bit harsh, but ultimately, right, he needs to prove himself. Because otherwise, I think Kabasele, he's getting to that point now, Kabasele, where eventually, if you're not going to start him and start getting back to fitness, then when are you going to do it? So he needs to get some more minutes, Kabasele, and he is still a good centre-back, so... If Troost-Ekong's not going to claim that spot for his own, then I think that, yeah, there's got to be some decisions made. But it's a big matchup, maybe a more realistic matchup to show Troost-Ekong's quality tonight. And Cathcart's been so dependable, but obviously he does make mistakes sometimes, so he's not perfect either. However, he's been reliable recently, so hopefully he can carry that on. We just need to keep our heads tonight. I feel like this is the sort of match we could get overexcited about after the really good performance against Chelsea, quite good performance against Man City in the second half. We can't just think this is an easy walk in the park. We need to go here and do a job on Brentford for sure. Come on, you Hornets. Let's go. Let's try and get the 3 points. Look, at the end of the day, the Bees are fuzzy, they're fat and they're hairy. But the Hornets are much less hairy, much more streamlined and slick. And hopefully that will be how we play going forward. And we'll cut through them like knife into butter. Look, at the end of the day, Hornets, they inflict the most pain. Even if the Bees are more toxic, because their fans are toxic. No, I'm joking. I don't have anything against Brentford fans. In fact, they're actually looking like a really nice community. So fair enough. They look like a good team. They've done well, but recently hit a few bumps in the road. So we can take advantage of that, Watford, for sure. And eventually, these performances, look, it's brilliant that Ranieri's done this, but we need to turn it into points now that we've got more realistic matches to get them from. This is our time. This is it. This is now. What we have to do is get the 3 points. If we can't, we move on to Burnley. If we can't get 3 points there, we don't press the panic button. But these are big games, for sure. What am I predicting? I'm predicting Brentford 0, Watford 1. What a way to kick off the Premier League weekend with your own Hornets. It's going to be weird. I'm just going to be like, will I watch the games at the weekend? I don't even know. Watford aren't even playing. It's just a crazy one when there's a Friday night kickoff. But anyway, Friday night football, under the lights. It's what you love to see. Very exciting stuff. And can we get our first win since that Manchester United drubbing? Come on, you Horns!